you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Its voice, the spirit it carries the voice of the soul. And if you go against the commandments of the Lord, where the souls in the most high and most secret aspect of your being with the Creator El, it is in a place that's not even in your body. It is extended from your body. Huh? That's how deep this is. If you go against that, then that spirit come down and speak to your brain, your heart, your solar plexus, the body of your emotions, and tell you you are wrong. Stay with truth, harmonize with truth, be of truth. If you go against that, then it turns your body against you. Each particle of your being starts to war against you. It starts in the solar plexus, rise up to the mind and in the heart. Huh? The mind could try to ignore it, then that's where you get the breaking of the soul, the losing of the soul, because you can't hear the call of that voice anymore. Huh? The heart ails until the mind becomes so ignorant, it breaks that off. Then you get an evil heart, a black heart. Huh? And the body itself turns against you. You come up with all kinds of ailments, all kinds of problems. When you're traveling through the world, your devil meets other devils. And those other devils from other beings that knows your soul attack you and join you. And you be joined with that. Those are minds of the communities of yourself. That's why when you go into your prayer, those of you who want to learn how to pray right, when you go into your prayer, you should always ask the Lord El, whether you ask it in the name of Allah, the name of Amen, the name of the Christ, and I'm not talking about Jesus, people, the Christ, not Jesus, the one that Jesus bowed to. And the name of Ahezaah, you should ask it to cause every particle of your being to surrender with your mind that you are aware of, with the intentions of surrendering your whole being to it. Huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
That's so deep,
One of the aspects of speaking with the messenger of Ahezaah, the messenger of the Lord, is that the words of the messenger, the words that are divinely sent words. And one of the effects that it has on you, that it opens up worlds within yourself. There are things that you thought you had an understanding of, the most simplest things, but then it opens up even further. No understanding. I thought this atom was just a thing, within the notion that each atom has a mind, and within the molecules within the atom, there are minds that exist.
And it's funny because you said it, because when Ahezaah says in the Quran, not even an atom's way to escape it. Yeah. And as you speak, it's like, even that smallest thing.
Not an atom's way to escape. It's awareness.
It's awareness of what was going on.
Yeah. And let me correct something before we go on. You said that when I speak, and it's my words, but it's truly Ahezaah's words that I speak. It's its message that I speak. That's why it supports me in what it says through me or commands of me to say. Right. See, people like to prefer for me to say what it caused me to say. Not that it's manifest through me, through my voice, that it used me like I would use a pen or a voice box myself, because that's the way it uses me. You see, and then in that support, it cause you, if you're favorable from soul to flesh, it raise you up. Mm-hmm. And that's what you feel, and you call it spirit. That's Ahezaah filling you up. Oh, so you agree with me. Okay, I'm going to reward you. Boom. You can hang out with my messenger, and I'm going to give you this feeling whenever you come into his presence. And I'm going to watch over you as you walk away from him till you come back. But if you veer off away from me, lo and behold, I'm going to shake you up from the core of your soul, which is with me. Huh? In the pure darkness of the mystery of my being. Huh? And you will not escape me. Not one iota of you will escape me and escape my knowledge of you, my experiencing in you. So in actuality, they're not trying to get too deep on the people, but in actuality, what is L? L is life. L is the. L is all. And all is living through all. So we all, Ahezaah, Allah is actually the one living.
Right.
Through everything.
Yeah.
This is it. And we are reflections. We are images. When it said, I created you in my image, in the image of the Lord of the throne. My image is everything that I imagine. Huh?
That's right.
I imaged it. I said be and it is. Because you can't take the Creator Most High, you can't take the originator of all life and put it in a binding, put it in a containment. It can't be encompassed. That's why I shook some people up when I tell them the truth. If they would only bear witness and be humble before the Lord Most High, they'd understand what I'm saying when I say the Lord of the throne was created by the Lord El as an image for that which it would create man in. It formed this Lord by the angel, Supermost Supreme Archangel, or Supermost Supreme Angels, Seraphim, and whatever. It formed them and its thrones by that. And manifests its power in them, its authority in them. But it, El, the definite article of everything, is beyond that thing sitting on the throne. It is so great that the Lord of the throne is minuscule compared to it. You see, now before the brothers start screaming, shirk, and he's crazy, this, think about what I'm saying. I'm giving it praise beyond what I could give it. I could never praise it and acknowledge it enough. I'm telling you that it is so great, it's way beyond what it manifests for you to bow down to as it. That is a unitized being of it, where it has many unitized beings of itself that you call attributes. That the people who went astray called them gods, the God of fire, the God of thunder, the God of water, the God of this and the God of that. The attributes, unitized beings of itself. It unitizes itself. That's why in the Holy Quran it was so bad, so terrible, and so dangerous that they tried to change what Allah sent down to Prophet Muhammad in the book of the Unity in chapter 112, where it says, say, you the essence, and Allah is one and the same thing. Not say he is Allah. Not cutting off half of his being. Why not say he, she is Allah? You know, the devils. People think that the devils are not in the religions. But that's where the devils hang out most. In the religions. So it really get really dangerous when you start trusting the congregations that you sit with. You start trusting the brothers and the sisters next to you. You know, you should only trust Allah. Allah is your only friend. You know, whatever you call it, the Christ, El, Amen, that's the friend. That's the reality. That's the one to trust. If you put everything in it, then it will be the guide for you. It will fulfill its promise to guide you and protect you, to make you safe, to put you on the sure path. That's all you need, is it. If you trust it, then you don't have to worry about who's your friend. It's going to show you who's your friend, because it's going to befriend you through those whom it wills. Huh? And you don't have to worry about who lying to you and what have you, who trying to deceive you. Because it says as a promise, The disbelievers and rejectors of faith will not be able to deceive Allah and those that believe.
It's something. We sitting up here talking about it, and it made me, just through his conversation, made me reflect. And I said, Ahezaah don't make no mistake. Man be thinking that he's pulling the wool over somebody's eyes, but Ahezaah makes things so clear. Just reflect on what Ahezaah, they say that the Fatiha is the opening. Well, it is. They have taken people to the Fatiha first, right? Right there in the beginning, Ahezaah tells you that it is. It tells you that it can't be begotten. It tells you everything right there in that 7 oft repeating verses. Mm-hmm. It opens itself up to you clearly. It's like if
let me,
it's so will.
Because I know what you're saying. Because see, some people will go to that Al-Fatiha and they won't see what you're saying.
No.
They won't see what we know what she's saying, right? But what she's saying, folks, is that Ahezaah is the supporter of its words. Mm-hmm. And it is the opener itself. It is Al-Fatiha.
Yeah.
And it is the closer. Mm-hmm. and for you Muslims, it is Muhammad, the one worthy of praise. Not Muhammad, the prophet.
Right.
Right?
That's right.
So now, if you go into its opening and it opens whatever it wills for you to see and understand, for me, the first 2 verses, it revealed the whole of the Holy Quran. Mm-hmm. And I had to fall down. Oh Lord, I never read this before. And I have been reading the Quran. I can't even count 20 years. I can't even count how long it was from the time I was a baby, a kid. Right. I have been reading the Quran. You understand? And when I read that, in the name of our Allah, or with the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all praise is due to Allah. That's all it took. And it opened up to me why all praise is due to it. And I seen the whole of the Quran, veils of worlds just fell. And I said, oh Lord, I've never read this. And I could have even said, oh Lord, I never read like this. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so, it's because when it read to you.
Yeah.
See, that's the whole point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
You need to hear it. It don't need to hear you.
Right.
You got people thinking they doing Allah a favor by going to the masjid and making salat, by congregating, by hanging out with you. You better thank Allah that I'm with you. I don't even say that, and I'm the messenger.
We was laughing about that. We laughed about that. We only going to work this morning because Allah leader in the Quran said, "Don't think you doing it a favor. It done you a favor by embracing you with Islam. You don't do it a favor. It brought the God that you
chose Islam for you."
Mm-hmm.
And see, another thing where they go wrong.
So cool.
The Prophet Allah said through Prophet Muhammad, "This day I have perfected my religion in you." Not for you.
They changed.
Not for means because of.
Right.
A lot of people don't know their words. That's why I beg my brothers to get to the dictionary. For means because of. A lot of say I perfected my religion because of you. Mm-hmm. It said I perfected my religion in you. This day I perfected my religion in you. What was he telling Muhammad to tell the people? Look in. Mm-hmm. Go in. Mm-hmm. Because what goes in will come out. What's outside don't necessarily go in. If you don't believe me, you look at the brother who fasts, who eat properly, who don't eat the garbage and stay away from the swine flesh. You look at the beauty of his shine, and then you go to, Sambo or whomever, and you look at the grease on his face and look at his shine. Huh?
I used to do because
hey, it's the truth, man. There's a difference in the shine. What you put in comes out. Yeah. What you put on don't necessarily go in. If it do, it just goes skin deep.
Right. The Temptation said.
That's right.
That is true. Now, people.
And people put on their religion like they put the grease
Right.
on their face.
Yeah, and the religion's only skin deep.
They put their religion
Surface.
on and
Yeah,
they
it's
take
on the
it
surface,
off when
right.
they go home, man. When they take them clothes off, a lot of them take their religion off. Some of them, when they come up to, if they be truthful, they'll tell you themselves, when I get near the masjid, or when I get near the church, or when I get near the temple, man, I feel so holy. I feel things change. Why? Because you're not walking in the spirit of the Lord all the
Shit,
time.
right.
What you feel, you should feel that at home.
Right. Yeah.
You should feel it when you go to work. You should feel it when you get on the bus. Because you should become of it. And let it become of you. Huh?
The Holy Apostle mentioned something, man. So true. And the truth that people ever, like he said, be true to themselves. When you read the holy books, like I was saying before, you read the holy books, you see all the things that you are not, if you're truthful. Because the book is only for the believer. You say everything that you are not.
Right.
You're not of faith, not of church, that's not you yet. But you are the other side of the coin that said Allah said when they ringleaders, it ain't talking about congregation with people. It's all that world in you.
Yeah, the ring.
We with you, we believe. But when we by ourselves, we were just joking. We ain't really with that.
questions.
Who we think? People all the
Yeah.
religion look
Yeah.
outside all the time. That
Yeah.
they talking about dumb people over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Point that finger back like he's always taught us. It's talking to you.
You pointed
Yeah.
this way, know that thing.
It's coming back
And
to
it's
you.
always been said that the greater religion and the greater war of the self is the inner war.
The inner
You know, because, like people, what's the first thing people want to do? They want to disassociate the devil from themselves.
Right.
When they
Right.
know that the devil is all in them. And if you tell them that the devil's in them, especially religious people, they hate you. They get so
Oh, yeah.
angry
I
and
ain't got
messed
the
up in the
devil.
head.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if it's not a devil in you, then what what you
Yeah.
doing here? Why you acting this way? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because see, how you gonna take a part of your creation, your being, away from yourself and say that you still whole, that you're still a human? Every human being is part angel and part animal. We come from the part of our being come from the same stuff of angels. The mind was created before the body. And when we leave this flesh, we going back into some state of mind that Ahezaah had created us in long before this day that we walked this earth. Huh? But see, there are certain aspects of that angel where we're limited. We don't have that.
Right.
You understand? They got something much more than us. And then there's something about us that we got much more than them. And that's our animalism. Our animalistic being. We got much more of that than them. Huh?
Right.
But Allah put Satan down here and gave him that number 666. Why do that? People try to sign up on that number. It's simple. He had the power, it had the power of the 3.
Right.
The number of the angels is 3.
Right.
Allah threw him down beneath the foot of man and gave him the curse of man
Right.
of being on this plane. Huh? Or even beneath this plane in hell. His spiritual life is hell. So he stayed with the power of the number 3 and reflected the number 6. Man's number.
Right.
They go with the 3 sixes.
3 6.
Just another way to tell you that.
Right.
Because it's so, Ahezaah have many directions for you to understand what it has done with its creation. Ahezaah tell us, look, the devil was an angel.
Right.
Huh? It said that when it told Adam and Eve to beware of the snake, the serpent, in the garden is our world here. Eden, earth, Eden. They called it Eden. What it was saying is there's one, the symbolism of the angels were the serpents, and how low they bowed. They were of the highest and they bowed the lowest, like a snake stay on his belly.
Right.
That was the symbolism of an angel who had fallen, was down in that garden.
Right.
Huh? And that's why in the days of, you go back to the ancient Egyptian days, they have the serpent, which represents wisdom.
Right.
And not the fallen angel. Because that serpent, that wisdom of the wise is of the angels. The wise is Ahezaah. And it manifests his wisdom through his angels. And they're servicing you. That wisdom is divine guidance. And then it has the bird of paradise, or the bird of peace, or the bird which represents the freedom. And through the wisdom. The freedom through the divine guidance. The free is the Lord El itself. The dome, which they have brought down to dumb, freedom.
Right.
The freedom is everything that we live in the universe.
Yeah.
Where it is only free, but we can have the wisdom and the peace and the freedom, free enough to fly, because every bird's still captured.
That's right.
Right.
But just the symbolism. We have so many people that go through various ancient symbolisms, and they just twist them up even worse than what they were twisted up. And then they tell you what these people 1,000, 10,000, 25,000 years ago was worshiping,
Right.
and they know they lying. They can't even get it right about what we doing here today. How they gonna get it right about what they was doing 25,000 years ago or 100,000 years ago? Right. When they are the only ones that's searching and digging up graves, is who? The advocates of the devil.
That's right.
You ain't got no holy man going around digging up no grave trying to find some information. Only grave a holy man gonna dig up is the grave of his own self, so he could die and live in the light of the Lord.
That's right.
Representing what Ahezaah said. Ahezaah something, man.
Well, it strikes me the trial of devil, the fallen angel being here. That's a trial onto the creation known as man too. That in the Quran it calls him the open enemy. So is that who Adam and Eve was told to beware of in effect, and they made aware that you have an enemy here, someone's going to try to.
Yeah, that there was a spirit, there was something down here to oppose them. Right. And as long as they stayed away from it, then they would be all right. As long as they followed the Lord's words in blind faith. With blind faith. In other words, don't question me. Don't try to make me answer you. Just do what I say. Follow my words. Follow my commandments. They will bring you the fruits of the world, the good fruits of the world. Just follow that. Eat of this. Eat of this fruit. But that sly being wanted them to become fallen like it. So it says, hey, come over here and check out some of this.
Right.
They don't want you to see this. Don't want you to have freedom like it. Don't you want to be like it? Come over here.
Right.
You see?
Yeah. Calling it the liar, right? Like promising Adam and Eve, promising them the power of the Almighty.
Well, from the very beginning, the devil called us to our lower desires.
Right.
And in calling us to our lower desires, in other words, the fruit of this world. Right. And then because everything of this world is lower. Desires. Some people think it's just sex. No, the lower desires is the lower world things. The higher desires is the higher world things, the things of Allaah. Right. Amen. That's the higher world things. So when our lower desires, our desire for the lower things is in this world. But even in that, what was the thing that Adam and Eve was said to be ashamed of? Their sexual organs.
Right.
That's what they tried to cover.
Right.
Because they had started seeing each other in the wrong light.
And in today's world now, they're going back to that same thing. Of people in religion always covered and dressed, from the Christian, all covered. Now we're going back to the things when you're talking about drawing the attention to other than the purity and everything else. Yeah. And then you say, what you looking at?
Yeah.
Why you looking at me like that?
Yeah.
Why you dressed like that?
Right.
You don't know why I asked
Yeah.
the question though.
They don't even ask the question why they're dressed like that. And
Yeah, now-
it's open.
You know.
Well, you know, 15, 20, 30 years ago, women used to say, what the heck you looking at? I said, I'm looking at you in them underwear. And I'm trying to figure out why you outside with your underwear on when you should be inside like that. So don't talk about why somebody looking at you. Because you get dressed like that because you want somebody to look at you. You know, you want, but see, it might not be the right guy who's looking at you.
Right.
Right.
You
But
know what
now,
I mean?
Nothing's covered.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing. You can't go. People can't go 5 minutes without it being something sexual.
In the dead of winter.
Well,
You know?
I'll tell you one of the things that really, really knocked us is that this AIDS virus came out, and women got scared as heck because you know women are looser than men, and they got scared as heck, and they wanted a fat guy because they thought the fat people didn't have AIDS, huh? Then fat became the thing. Now you got big fat women running around here with their bellies hanging out and everything else, and they think it's cute, huh? Not realizing that they don't have to do that to get a man. One thing about a man is dumb, dumber than women, females. Every woman gonna find some man that want them. I don't care how she look.
Oh yeah.
So she ain't got to go to those extremes, but going through those extremes is saying, I'm one of those whores. I can be had. If you just say or do the right thing, you can have me. See, I'm not covered up. I'm not chaste. I'm not living in light of the Lord's commandments for me to dress and to protect my species, my man.
And the sad part about it, as a chastisement from Ahezaah, it cursed them where they're never satisfied.
Oh no, they're never satisfied. They'll never be happy.
That's why they go. It's just an ongoing thing. That's why you got all
Going
the
drinking, going to the
child molestation.
going to the hotels and the gambling joints in the various cities where they say Sodom in the east and Gomorrah in the west, and you know, going to parties, you know, wife swapping, you know,
men
like
swapping.
you just name it. They doing everything trying to find what? The peace.
The piece, yeah.
The peace of hell. And they can't find it because the only way you're going to get the peace is if it give it to you of itself. You can't control the peace. You can't make you happy.
That's true.
Huh?
I'll leave people with one more thing. People, when the message brought this truth from Ahezaah, when Ahezaah talking about gambling, that's how we got into this whole thing. Ahezaah talking about gambling. And people automatically thought of the vices of the shooting craps or playing the picket. And Ahezaah is opening up to us now. Anytime you disobey his commands, you are gambling in your life. See, people don't make a game on a higher level. They even take gambling on a lower level. See,
Well, when Ahezaah said stay away from the game of chance, it was talking about staying away from gambling your life away, gambling your soul connection away from it. Because when you gamble on the path of the devil, when you play with Ahezaah's words, that's the gambling that it was talking about. Because shooting crap ain't never took nobody to hell.
right.
It may have caused you to lose a lot of money, and then you learn hell, you experience hell for losing your money as a chastisement from the Lord. But I tell you what take you to hell. That is gambling your soul and setting up equals with the Lord Most High. Ignoring the Lord when you hear his call, you know, crushing the spirit of your soul and your conscience. That's the gambling. That's the heavy. That's not saying that it's all right to go shoot crap and shoot cars because that there leads you into all these other forms of perdition, you know, which take you out. But but I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, it was amazing because, like I said, coming that Ahezaah making you a part of his sign of the seal breaking today. All these things dealing with our way of life, our relationship with the Lord, have a greater understanding, greater meaning now. And what is sent down in this holy word, Ahezaah sent them down to you in the book of this covenant, the divine book of visitation, and component number 200 called Have You Honored This Book? And upon reading that component in each saying of wisdom, it's actually talking about have you honored the Lord of the words of this book. I say, and people read the holy book and don't honor the Lord of this book. Their book. Whether it be the Torah, the Quran, or the Bible, or whatever. That's when he's breaking all these seals today, and I think he's a much for sitting in this presence of his messenger and it, and being graced by him, because it's the time that people, let's say before, this is the hour of the day that Allah is by the book of Revelation at hand now. You are gambling now with your soul's connection, being lost forever from the reality of the Lord, if you don't fall back and at least partake of hearing these words of wisdom that is being offered you on this program. So with that being said, Holy Father Deen, Holy Queen Mother, Brother Fat Kid, may I eat this peace and the blessing
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you